is my review of Trolls 2 World Tour. I think it's just called Trolls World Tour. Trolls World Tour follows the first Trolls movie, but it expands the lore of the Trolls universe by adding in a bunch of different countries based on, like, 6 different musical styles. Anyway, so we're introduced to a larger Trolls world. Now that I should probably tell you, I did not see the first Trolls movie because, by all accounts, it was not worth my time. So Trolls World Tour introduces the plot twist of Barb the Rock Troll wants to create... Barb the Rock Troll wants to make all trolls into rock. She wants no other types of music, and this poses a problem for Poppy and Branch, I think his name is. I think the male lead is Branch. They're pop trolls, so they want things to be pop. And they consider themselves to be fairly accepting of all other troll races, and they're like, wow, this is cool when they first think that there are other troll races. However, the movie itself is a thinly varied narrative about race. It's very odd when you mix that with a movie that is just kind of pure nonsense. Now, Trolls goes for the random XD humor, if you know what I mean. For example, the plot is just, the pace is amazingly bad. For example, Trolls the movie kind of just wants to put as many pop culture music references, but they just want to do like as many musics a minute, which makes it very difficult to follow from a narrative perspective, and most of the time is not spent progressing the narrative. It is rather spent doing very bad covers of songs. If I may remind you, there is a cover of Gangnam Style inside Trolls the Musical, and now I will go to my notes. So the main plot is that Barb wants to make everything rock music, which shows you slowly but surely taking over everything. The 6 chords include country, folk music, rock, pop, funk, and classical. And so Poppy, the pop queen troll, is trying to save the others. However, she wants to make friends with Barb, but Barb is not a friendly person. But in the end, they find that the music was inside them all along when Pop accidentally destroys all the strings, which Barb was trying to do in the first place, but only leave the rock string. I'm doing my best. Okay, what I want to talk about is the underlying racial narrative and the gay narrative in Trolls 2 World Tour. So first of all, it's a very thinly veiled, as I said before, race narrative in which all the trolls are different races based upon which music they are aligned with. And so we do have a part where the very black-coated trolls talk about how the pop trolls basically rewrote history in their favor, which is very actually like nuanced for a children's movie that is just like pure fan service and pure just like miles a minute random XD humor. I did appreciate that in this movie. I do have to give it that. However, again, it makes this very movie hard to digest when it is just going from point A to point B in no discernible fashion. I'm very surprised that there wasn't an Old Town Road cover in this, but there was, again, a Gangnam Style. Which brings me to my next point, in which there were K-pop trolls, though this was offset slightly by the fact that there were yodeling trolls. And there was a jazz troll that definitely fucked. The jazz troll was very sexually coded. Now I will go to my notes. You know, the later half of the movie could be described as just 2 queens looking at each other, as Barb and Poppy are both queens of rock and pop, respectively. And I do like the gay subtext within it. I don't think we ever see the hetero love subline truly realized. Now, this may be because they did both say that they love each other, according to my friends here, Anna and Hope. I do not remember that, however, I have had quite a bit to drink tonight. There is lesbian coding in both Barb and Poppy. I can only hope that the queens of these 2 trolls, respectively, will unite together and create a pop-punk kingdom, perhaps. I did enjoy the gay subtext. So, going back to my notes, I did think that Branch, apparently he is the main male character. I thought him and the character piloting the ship that there is, sort of, I think, in the movie, I did think they were 2 different characters, so very weak character presence there in this movie. There is a point in the climax of the movie in which Barb, the punk troll, turns other characters into rock trolls. She made Branch, this main male character who I didn't really care about because he was very weak. She made him into a rock troll and commanded him using the term, "Boy toy, it's mullet time."
Boy toy, it's mullet time.
which threw me for a loop for sure. I did not expect that. So, I mean, props to Trolls 2 World Tour for using the term boy toy, it's mullet time, in which he attacked with his mullet. That was very courageous. As filmmakers, I think they should be recognized for that. So they did sort of talk about counterculture as a major theme of the movie, in that rock, and specifically punk rock, and sort of like edgy and metal, it is sort of a counterculture. Poppy, the queen of the pop trolls and the main character of the movie, did make a good point in sort of referencing that, like, you cannot be counterculture if you are the main culture, and that going mainstream with things like pop and hard rock and metal does lose part of what's it about when it goes to try to appeal to a mainstream audience. For example, we do see a lot of counterculture. We do see a lot of anti-authoritarian and anarchic views within punk and heavy metal music. And in order to, like, court a mainstream approval of that, you do lose part of what makes it so unique in the process. Now, whether or not that should be something made just for appeal, or something that is, like, true to the beliefs of the people who engage in that music, that is for you to decide, though I do believe that, you know, it should be intrinsic to the music. I have always held the belief that pop music is not supposed to be good music. It is supposed to be music that sort of makes you think about political things. Punk is inherently political. I do believe that. Alright, let's look at my notes. I can't read this shit. I think this says that's Das Papa. Okay, rainbow equals gay. Yes, at the climax of the movie, when they solve things with music, they do get a rainbow makeover. Again, this serves the gay narrative. Poppy is gay for Barb. Yes. Bat. Yeah, I do have a note. The best part of the movie was this rock troll bat messenger that they had that was very good. It was very good design, and it was like a rock bat that it sort of reminds me of Swoobat from Pokemon. I think it's like a 6th generation Pokemon or so. That was very good. I do like the edgy designs of the rock trolls. All in all, I would give this movie, like, it's a 6.5 out of 10. It touches on some subjects, but it's always very afraid to really, truly engage with them. You know, though at the same time, I do like that it talks about the revisionism of the fact that colonizers are in charge, and thus they are the ones who control history. So yeah, you know, it's a 6.5, a 7 out of 10. It goes to some places. It could go a little further. It's very simple. It is made for kids, however. I can put aside some things. Yeah, it's a 6 out of 10 movie. Don't watch it. Don't pay $20 for it. Take my word for it. Hello and good night. I hope you enjoyed this review of Trolls 2 World Tour. I'm dying. Thank you for listening. Have a good night and do well.